Okay, and we are back to Memorial Island. Some more musing. Um, I definitely need to go make a constructive video today, but I mean, I guess I don't. That's the other thing too. Is like people watching these things. You're gonna learn computer science. You're gonna learn technology. You're gonna learn uh, cybersecurity. Oops. Okay. Now we need the leads. Oh, well, you can go in the boat, and then you come with me. All right. I don't know. I guess everything I've really been saying is kind of like redundant at this point. I mean, we've got some good ideas. Now the whole trick is to get the ideas to the people that matter. And I don't know how much they actually check their Twitter. I know that Chinese government official that I interact with, Mei Fang, I think is her name. Her tweets only get like a handful of likes and views compared to, say, Biden's stuff. Granted, Biden's stuff is a lot of bots interacting with it, keeping tabs, trying to do things like it's funny because once you do like a class in cybersecurity, the veil is pulled back on what we're actually like trying to protect against, what's going on. Um, yeah, it's just interesting because the gist of it is the world is trying to make sure that America isn't going to go crazy and bomb it. Like, I mean, granted, yes, Russia and China have spies and things like trying to poke and prod, but nothing to the tune of what we have. And it's like, I don't know. It's just, it's funny to me, but then it's not too because if we've learned anything from these things, it's that everybody's human. Everybody's trying to do something, and just because they're like the great empires of China, Russia, and England and America, like, and now everybody's like, joining the stage, which is awesome. It's not just like us. See, and that's the thing. Is like the whole thing, like why I don't really like the Olympics is because um, it's just boring. Like we just win every time. I mean, now granted, it is cool to see human achievement, but like it's not fun. And I remember that because I mean, and I've ranted about this or mused about this, like the football team that I used to play for growing up. It was massive. It was awesome. Like, but we would win every time, and it wouldn't even be close. Like, it wasn't even like a close game. And and to a point, it was kind of boring. It was like, oh, we're gonna go support the BV Demons, but they're gonna go have another blowout. Like, nobody can even come close to touching them. But we'll go watch them beat up on some new kids this week, and so it's just like, and that one kid crying because we had one goal scored on us, like, and we were tough too. It was like, so that's what I'm saying is like, and then they say the bigger you are, the harder you fall, and then pride cometh before the fall, or it's we've been trying to warn ourselves for a long time about this. Be like, hey, don't get too cocky. You could be wrong, and then it's embarrassing. Like I can tell you that in a nutshell. That's why I don't say anything with absolute authority, even if I know that it's the answer. Why? Well, because I've been wrong enough to where it's like, huh, maybe take a step back and realize that the answer you think is correct might not be correct because of a version or a type of technology stack or a compatibility issue. I mean, granted, like technology is ever changing. In fact, like we just had a lawsuit or a standard or a meeting or something where chargers have to be a uniformed meeting. And thank goodness, because all those laptops made up until that, yeah, they had all these different chargers, like the barrel, the little barrel, the big barrel, the 10 centimeters, the 12 centimeters, the whatever. And now it's just the USB-C. Just boom. You have to use this to charge your computer. And same with the Lightning too. Like Apple tried to make their own unique thing, and that's why it was because each company was making their own thing. And if you use a power plug, you have to pay a bit of royalties to the creator of it, from what I hear here. Hence why there was so many visual display cords, and now it's all HDMI or I want to say HDMI is pretty much taken over. There used to be VGA and DVI, so digital video. VGA is analog. I don't even know what VGA stands for, but basically it's the blue plug that everybody used to use, but now it's obsolete. And remember, these are things that like over the matter of like 10, 20 years just completely changed. Like a lot of money changed hands, a lot of, it was just, is this deteriorating? Also, why haven't there been any? I think it's because, see, look, now they're loaded in. Like, now they're going to start dropping pedals. So we are on, like, a boundary. So that's annoying. Like, we have to spend a lot of time in this one. See, they're just now, as you're getting close to them, falling. I'm trying to get a layer of pedals on the ground here. Well, I'm fairly certain. Oh, and that llama despawned. Okay, that's fine. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with the llama in the boat the whole time. I mean, here it's so that's interesting. It's like they don't despawn if you use a lead on them, but then they do despawn. I don't know, little things that I notice and I don't necessarily remember. Like that might seem like something I learn another day down the road. So, anyways, yeah, let's do a few Code Wars things today, and I'll double check and make sure the sound is on. My goal is to get 2 videos out, because then that'll be 2 tutorial videos on how to use the Python guide, and then 4 videos on how to actually do easy programs. I don't think I'm going to finish the Sudoku validation one in this one just yet, because I think what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll just start over and do it again, and just explain what happened, be like, so I did this, but I didn't have sound. And so now, because these are things like people that are going out there and trying it. I remember watching the first videos of Fighting Cowboy. Well, not the first one. Those are just the first like types of games that he was streaming and playing and doing guides for. And he did amazing guides for Dark Souls. Well, everything. Dark Souls, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3. That's kind of how he got famous. But then he's also like rigorously, or he has a very big schedule of streaming to where and I still see him every now and then. I'll pop in and watch whatever game he's playing, but like really I came for the Dark Souls and the FromSoft stuff, and and he is very entertaining playing that, and Bloodborne, like that's another one. But um let's see. Yeah, actually let's just go ahead and just keep chopping down trees, cuz like I don't know, actually I'm curious. So I have some of the things. I wonder if I can make petals from the blocks of. See, yeah, they only start dropping as you get close to them. Like, see, even those trees stopped dropping until now, like, we get close enough to them. Oh, that looked weird. All right. No. They do nothing. Just gonna have a massive amount of those wood. And I feel like it is crowding. Why these aren't growing faster, because as I chop them down, it's almost like a new one pops up right away. And I feel like that's the thing with acacia trees. Like, they kind of like probe to see if there's room to grow, and then if there isn't, or if there's something blocking it, then it misses that turn of growing. Then it waits till the next clock cycle or whatever, or the next time period or time frame. Let's see. I kind of decided that we'll leave the island like that, but really the final step is just harvest a bunch of stuff, get the flower petals going. I guess not. Maybe, I don't know. The other thing I'm thinking of is if they only start falling when you're next to them. I was thinking about maybe doing the mine backwards, Because used to be, if you were in a chunk, the entire chunk loaded all the way up and all the way down. Like, and a chunk is about, I don't know, like 30 blocks by 30 blocks, like one, two, three, four, five. I mean, that's just about what it looked like. Maybe 15 to 30 blocks on each side, and then just like a square that goes all the way up to build height and all the way down. But this looks different because as I go through, I see no petals falling until I approach it. And then we look back at the trees that were dropping petals. Even that one isn't dropping petals now. Also, this one's just floating. But it still might float because of that. I don't know. These things are interesting. But yeah, I was hoping to have a nice layer of. Well, I guess what I could do, we could go ahead and finish this. The only thing we're missing, oh, is a chest. And then it's fully functional. Let's go ahead and fix that. Where did I put them? There we go. There. Now it is complete. That is a complete. Although I didn't really even need the chest to begin with. But now, if I want to, let's go ahead and harvest some things to show you. Replace what I take. Yeah, just thinking about the. Yeah, let's go ahead and. Because we need a nice, healthy dose of. Let's see, let's do that. Now we can do these things. Get some wheat. We still never got cows. And I think it'd be quite the trick to get a cow over here. It can be done now that we have all this wheat. Whoops, that one wasn't ready, but. Yeah, because we would have to guide the cow all the way on the bridge. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go get a cow. But I'll go ahead and show you this. So now we can stick as much. Let's see, let's do all that and all that. But we already had that ability with this. We could stack at least 5 stacks here. Now we can do a whole, what is that, 9 times 3, so 27. Let's see, 3, 6, 9. I know we did this before, but I still don't, you know. I do that with everything, and that'll save you so much time and headache in computer science if you just double check if you're unsure. Like if you're unsure of a count, a variable, or whatever, just print it out real quick, and you'll see. Okay, so we have this very lonely cow. Oops. And we keep feeding it, but now we need to bring it a mate. And yeah, maybe we should do that. Expand the farms, kind of like we do back in the main base. Oh, and I do want all of this stuff. That's funny, we have so much of this cherry wood. I don't know, it's just, I keep thinking about, well, I mean, we're in the Memorial Island of 9 Mas Day, but just life, how fragile it is, how, because I mean, you start off, you're growing, you're learning, and it's interesting, like, the whole rebellious phase, I feel like it happens mostly because we lie to our kids and we try to hide things from our kids when our kids are perfectly understandable of understanding. I don't know. It's just, and here's why I think that. So the way I treat my own kids is, with respect, with understanding. I don't get mad. I try to never get mad because as soon as I feel myself getting mad, I realize I'm wrong. Because then it's like, I'm letting my emotions take over my logic. I'm letting my emotions take over my decision making, my feeling, like everything. And it's irrational. So, and it could be caused by any number of things. And that's the thing too. The biggest thing I learned in psychology is like the different types of like deflection, projection. So when you're mad and you have these negative emotions, these negative feelings, there's a good chance you will try to get rid of those negative feelings by shifting the weight and shifting the stress to someone else. Specifically, like, say you're having a bad day, you go home and then you yell at the dog. Well, the dog didn't do anything to you. The dog was waiting for you to get home, and if anything, is nothing but excited to see you, and then sees that you're mad, and then is sad. But then dogs just kind of like, they're very optimistic, usually, on average. Like, they're very, oh, well, like, I can see you're mad, but hey, I'm being cute. Can you at least, like, I'm sorry, or whatever. Like, they're trying to make you not mad, or they'll go hide, or whatever. And it's really sad because these are living things. And that's why it's just, oh, and I see people getting dogs that have no business getting a dog. I don't know, because people think, oh, the dogs are fluffy and cute. And that's the thing. I told my kids, I'm like, we're not going to get a dog. It's a lot of work, and it takes a lot of love. And, we're still trying to just figure out taking care of ourselves. So, and I say that the royal we, I'm really talking about me, but, you know, I, and I don't know. It's not that I haven't been taught how to live and take care of myself. Like, I remember hearing stories about my dad. He used to wash all of the dishes, the pots and pans in a bathtub. He would just dump a bunch in there. And it was just, like, it was efficient. And, it's funny, like, people mock that, but I'm kind of like, well, have you tried to wash all the dishes at once? Like, maybe that was the best way to do it. And it's just funny because what seems strange to other people might actually make a lot of sense. Be like, oh, I see why they did that. Like, I mean, granted, I don't think I'd wash all the pots and pans in the bathtub, just because I already know that in order to do that and want to do that, I would need to be assured that the bathtub is clean. And so that's my own pickiness where I would be like, nah, I probably wouldn't do it that way. But I also don't use a lot of pots and pans to cook. I mean, the things that I cook don't really require all that. And then I tell myself, oh, I need to start cooking more. All right, now if I was a cow, this might be tricky. So I've seen a cow here, but it's kind of more rare that a cow will spawn here than in like the plains. So like over there maybe, but also getting the cow from point A to point B. See, I can see like with the birch and the oak, this is more of like a plains biome or like a grassland. Oh, what's this? Did I put a torch? Like, what is this? See, that is just weird. So it's like the light coming from what, that magma block is coming up here and illuminating something. That's another funny play on words that I never really understood with the Bible and growing up Christian. Like the illuminator, the light, like, like if you were not told who was who, and you were told there is a character in this holy book called the Illuminator, the Light Bringer, you're like, oh, well, that sounds kind of nice. They're probably a hero. They're probably bringing light, which is warmth, which is, intelligence, which is all this. No, that's the devil. Like, Lucifer, the Illuminator. Like, so right there, you've got the holy books telling you to beware of knowledge, beware of wisdom, and it's the devil, Bobby Boucher. And so right there, I was confused. I was like, wait, what? That doesn't make sense. Like, why are we all preparing and like, aware of Lucifer? Like, but yet he's bringing light. He's bringing warmth. He's bringing the sun. Like we used to have a god that dedicated to the sun. Like we believed that a god controlled the sun. And now we know it's gravity and it's like, the gases and the energy from a ball of, explosive gases far away or whatever. Like, now we better understand that might be giving a little too much credit to the sun. But Yeah, up until we understand things, we say that a god or gods do it because we don't know. Or we say it's magic. That's another thing. It's like, oh, I don't know. Oh, it must be magic. Like, even though we don't believe that now, like now oh, that is death. That is death. Interesting. I hopscotch around it. Oh, that is scary. I probably shouldn't do that. Although, I see some more iron ore down there. Now I just need some blocks to tower up with. I know, we were going to get a cow. That seems like very risky for what I'm trying to do. So, tell you what, we're just going to do that, 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 definitely that. There we go. Just in case I fall in here again. In fact, oh, see right there, that's why it's sketchy, because gravel can be held up, sand. Yeah, actually, let's block this off, because that is dangerous. I could thread the needle and fall all the way through. It's okay. We don't need to. And I was going to build a mine too, so we don't really need all that. Ooh, that's good that. And what gives? Ah, there we go. Okay, so a cow from this area. Ugh, okay. I mean, I think the best bet is right here. Yeah, there's sheep spawning. So not a cow yet, so I'll just keep lollygagging and hope that a cow spawns. Because I can get sheep back. That's fine. We already have a sheep farm. We've got enough sheep to start a new... It's kind of funny. Another thing, like a frame of reference why I'm so optimistic about the future is like, I used to hear stories about people fighting over a pig. Like, a pig. One pig, singular. They didn't have much else going on. That was like the famous fight before the Civil War. It was like the Brothers War, the like Nantuckets and the Hansons, or I'm just kidding, the Hatfield. I'm just kidding. It's the Hatfields and McCoys. There we go. That's all it was. Like there was family disputes of a family that lived close to another family, and whether they really did stuff or not, or whether it was like perceived, and then they would retaliate. And then they would see the retaliation, and so then it didn't matter if the original thing was real, because then the retaliation was real. And so then, like, like, it could have been a bunch of he said, she said stuff that just led to a bunch of violence and anger, and they don't have anywhere else to go or anyone else to talk to or interact with, so then they're stuck with these people that they hate, and it's just interesting, because now we have a completely different world. I mean, we have plenty of space for the people we have. We got to remember this for when we start running out of space. We feel like we're running out of space, and that's kind of one of the conundrums that I've seen is like, I've heard a claim that you could take the entire world's population and fit it in Alaska. Like, okay, but is that tight pack or loose pack? I'm just kidding. And like having just had Juneteenth, oh yes. So for those that don't know, tight pack, loose pack is how they brought slaves over. Oh, are you kidding me? Okay. They didn't notice that I had wheat. We're going to take 3 cows. Anyways, what I'm saying is like, what's your definition of fit? I mean, because we've done some really evil things, and let me explain. Tight pack was where you tried to fit more slaves on a ship than you're supposed to. So loose pack was supposed to be the humane way to kidnap people and force them to slave labor in another world, in another country. And yeah, and it was horrible. It was atrocious. And these are things that we did in like the last 200 years. Like, this is within a lifetime of... All right, let's keep going. Will you follow me into the water? Yes. And we got to be careful, patient, because it takes them some time to swim. You don't want them to lose interest, and if you get too far away, they lose interest. It breaks the hold. I mean, and a lot of the mechanics that we're actually abusing in this game. Now, see, we have a sheep. That's what I was kind of worried about. I am probably just going to kill it, violence warning. But we are going to take these 3 cows. And I know there was another sheep over here that we might accidentally attract. Well, I feel like this is farther than we went. But I see a piece of coal, so I'm like, no, I had to have been here. And I remember that the bridge is over there somewhere. In fact, I can kind of see it. You can faintly see the line. At least I think that's the bridge. Okay, now we got to be careful, because now, like, they can fall on narrow bridges like that. Not that they'll die or anything. And again, these are all virtual animals. Like, none of this really matters unless... And so this was also kind of like a little head trip that I had. Like, what if God exists and God is judging us through our actions in video games? Now, see, that's more believable to me. I mean, rather than God is watching you, like, God hears you when you pray, like you were speaking only to God. Oh, look, and then the sheep just... Okay, cool. We filtered out the sheep, and that's gold panning in a nutshell, where you have the cow's gold and the sheep is dirt, and you're swishing around water until the sheep falls out, but the gold is slightly heavier, so it stays in the pan, but yet you're sloshing out the lighter stuff, and yeah, it's so funny. Like, we'll go through such great lengths to get gold, or, oh, okay, yeah, we have all the 3 cows. Someone who's addicted to crack will look for a piece of crack in the carpet. Like, that's just a thing, and it's not like, oh, we call crackheads because we're worried about, we think they're some other kind of race. They're like some other species, but no, they're just people. People that happen to have tried a substance that's very addicting, like cigarette smokers. People think that, okay, now I can really relate to that because I used to smoke cigarettes a lot, and I used to drink alcohol a lot. And then I used to go to AA because I didn't want to drink alcohol anymore, but I couldn't because it's like, well, that's where all the fun is. If you're trying to find a girlfriend, guess what? You got to go where the alcohol is. Except, oh, well, you can find someone else who's made the realization that they want to stay away from alcohol. But then you have to figure out, are they sober, or are they just sober? Like, I mean, because they might be like, oh, I don't drink alcohol, but I do meth. And then it's like, oh, well, I don't drink, but I'm just kidding. Because, again, these are people. We act like these are alien beings that we're studying or, anything else. And it's like, no, that's your neighbor from down the street. They're struggling with this. And I hate that because I remember hearing when people would say, oh, so-and-so is in a funk right now. Oh, and they might be, barred up inside their house with a bottle of something, like, on the verge of suicide or whatever. Like, in fact, I remember there was this time where my mom told me about this guy that she's worried about that she worked with, and he was having trouble showing up to work. Like, he was, people were checking on him, and he was just drunk all the time and like drinking away his sorrow. And that's sad. And it's a very real reality with alcohol. I know I said we were doing 30 minutes. We're going to do a little bit longer. Let's get this. In fact, I don't think we're even at. Yeah, we've got 2 more minutes. Let's get these cows over there. And then maybe we'll do an episode, build a farm. Like, honestly, I'm having a lot of fun with this Memorial Island. Like, it's pretty neat. Although, I keep waiting for, like, the bridges to appear because this map is going to drastically change. And then we have the winter biome. So actually, yeah, this is season 4. We'll just do, the musings, they can come and go. Oops, don't get too far over, you might fall. It's single file now. But, like, yeah, I don't know. That's the point of musings. Then we'll take a break. We'll do a couple Python videos, but really at this point, I'm remaking videos that I already have to teach Python, Java, web development, basic web development, mind you, just basic JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. But I have videos. I have videos explaining all of that. So they're not exciting. They're not little half hour. Not that learning is always going to be exciting. It's just because, like, look at Minecraft education. Like, they've made a Minecraft game to teach kids, but it's boring, and I've only played it a little bit and never went back. Because I'd rather play this and just, and I can explain all these other things, like people. And I'm no expert, too. That's the thing. This is just what I understand with a rudimentary understanding of the human brain and psychology, behavioral psychology, sociology, kind of like microeconomics, how people interact with each other, or sociology on a macro level, how nations interact with each other. And it's all about respect and looking out for their own. Like, this whole China thing, Yeah, it's nothing foreign. Well, that was the other interesting thing to me is like, so the Chinese government official has a fraction of the following on Twitter, also because they censor what you can see in China. Like their internet is censored, just like in Dubai, porn is censored out. Like you can't have porn, which is very strange to me. I was just like, because I live in the land of enchantment, and I remember when I wasn't even 18 yet, I was okay. So this is, a bit of reveal of my little history, and it's sad because I remember, Chad Swisher. He would have made a great dad. He died when I was in high school. He was one of my buddies. I spoke at his funeral. Um, yeah, that's pretty heavy for a kid, 17, 18. I mean, it's even heavier if you do it younger. And I know I've seen people speak at funerals at a younger age, you know, but yeah, drunk driving. That's what it was. That's all it was. They were going to go get more alcohol at a party I wasn't even at. I mean, it doesn't, not that that matters, but like there was very few parties in Buena Vista, and I was usually at the ones that they had, especially around that time. But for whatever reason, I wasn't at this one. I can't remember why. And we had a buddy that would buy the alcohol, and Chad was taking him there, and yeah. And then the buddy tried to sue Chad's family for the hospital bills because the bills were great. And even right there, like, and this wasn't some like people that we didn't hate each other. These were families. We were all friends. But then like everything got bitter because, someone was dead. Let's see. There we go. Now all four of them. Okay, we'll call that a good episode here. But Memorial Island, and maybe I'll put like a memorial for everyone that I've lost in my life. Just like a wall of remembrance. There you go. Yes, we'll do that. All right, let's cut this episode for now, and then we'll do a wall of remembrance, and then we'll gear up to go. Wait, sorry. We'll gear up to go settle the frosty plains. That'll be a fun time. All right, see you in the next one. Talk.